everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but people's opinions do not really make you what they think you are. I'm still with GLORRIANE Francis as she tells us her story, as she takes us through her lowest moments in life. You're still watching Rock Bottom. I understand you have a political career. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was very active politically, both within the British Parliament as well as doing things within the Zimbabwe political space. And after the new dispensation, I took the opportunity to say, because I'm so passionate about community, I come from a community whereby I realized that there was a big increase in drug misuse, there was a big increase in unemployment, and I thought, let me take my skills that I've achieved or I've actually been able to develop overseas, and let me try and run for MP so that I can be a voice for these people in Parliament. It was the most difficult decision to make because my family were against it, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to focus on what I want, because my message was about sustainable development. Anyway, as you know, politics is a dirty game. So when I started running for politics, that's when I realized the amount of animosity some of our own people have, even though you're trying to do something positive, and they will come out with all the negatives. So I was accused of being a murderer, I was being accused of being a witch, I was accused of trafficking girls to Nigeria. There was a statement that actually stated that I have parents in England who are still waiting for their young daughters who had been trafficked, and there was no evidence. The kind of job I do in England, I work in forensic psychiatry, I have to have a police CRB check every year. There is no way, even if I had an accusation, that I'd be able to work in that space. So yes, it was really terrible that you're trying to do something positive, you're putting your life at risk, you're investing your own money, and then people just have nothing but negative things to say. So yes, I went right, like from up there, having recovered from a serious accident and trying to restart my life again, to going right rock bottom. And it's not a good place to be when you're rock bottom, because nobody, in fact, a lot of people don't want to know you when you're rock bottom. But you know what? I always believe that there's not enough space for everybody at the bottom. So you've got to come up. I don't believe that anything negative in your life should have control over your future. If anything, it's made me stronger. I don't think there's anything in this world that can make me feel worse than I've ever felt. And I believe that experience has made me more compassionate to people, because I understand what it's like when people throw names, call you stuff, and it's so hard to be in the public eye. It's so hard because you're not going to please anyone. But what I believe in is that you just got to keep going, because when you give up, that's not going to change the way people think about you.
You know, when you're explaining, you got me thinking, at times we are so content and thinking on trying to please people, failing to really please ourselves. The moment you get yourself to a place where you personally, you're content with what you have, nothing will really stop you. So let's say there's someone who's at the rock bottom right now. The only option they have, probably they're thinking of giving up on their career, on their life. What could be your message? Let's say you've given a moment to travel back into that place, that sphere, that's with people who are on the rock bottom. How would you lift their spirits up?
You know, there's a guy called what's his name? I remember his name, but you probably know him. He's an inspirational speaker, Les Brown.
Les Brown.
And he said that he said he always thought he was big until he realized that he was only a big fish in a small pond. When he moved to a bigger pond, he realized he was just a small fish. So what you surround yourself is important in terms of how you analyze and see the progress that you're doing. Yes, you don't have to listen to everyone, but you cannot just be content with you. You have to be able to develop. And develop, for me, the way I develop is by looking at other people's stories and being inspired. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like a million. Just somebody. I look at Zolile's story. How did he start? What inspired him? Has he had any failures? And that's for me. If you look at some of the richest people, from Bill Gates, Richard Branson, look at their stories. Their stories. And you know, one of the things I also realize is that when you have a story to tell, you have a product to sell.
Okay.
So your story, your experiences, your successes, your failures are all part of your product. And that's what makes you a brand. So anybody out there who's thinking of giving up, don't forget that where you're at right now is going to be something that you're going to sell tomorrow, because it's part of your journey. So don't give up. Just surround yourself with positive people and reach out to people. There will be loads of no's, but somebody will come up with a yes.
I then say thank you to a lot of people who said no into my life, because it's because of their no's that I realized I still had to do more. So yes. I'm saying we're living a generation full of a lot of drug abuse, unemployment rate. People are saying the things that you're saying really do make sense, but check on how things are on the ground. I'm a single parent. I'm not going to work. I have a kid to look after. My family has abandoned me. How then? Let's say I have a dream. I still want to pursue my career, but financially I don't have any money to do that. How can you help someone like that?
The things, I always believe in changing the narrative. Focus on the solutions rather than the challenges. Yes, we're all in a climate of a difficult climate, but if we concentrate on complaining and not looking at solutions, that is not going to help the situation. I'm sure you're aware, I recently started a international sports and arts agency. The whole theme of that agency is to be able to box out the narrative. I just recently had a box out tournament, and one of my theme is to box out poverty. Say no to poverty, say no to drug misuse, say no to unemployment, say no to domestic violence. Creating platforms is the most important thing. How do you create platforms? Get the youth involved in activities that they enjoy and they're not judged. So one of the things is we have had boxers that come from really deprived backgrounds with a lot of anger, a lot of drugs, but now they're using boxing as a platform to be able to express themselves and not be judged. What I'm saying is, let's be innovative. Let's not focus on the negative. Yes, there's finance that's going to be done, but if we innovated and if we work together, there's a lot of stuff that we can do without having to complain about our environment.
Okay, if I'm to say, give us your last words to everyone who's watching, what would be your last words?
My last words is that everybody has a star, and that star should be allowed to shine. If you don't allow your star to shine, then everyone is going to see the dark side of that star. So focus on your positives. Negatives will always just be a part of your journey, but focus on just the positives.
Thank you, GLORRIANE, for gracing the show.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Zolile.
I hope to invite you on another episode.
Oh, yeah, I'll be absolutely delighted.
Thank you, Zimbabwe, for staying with us. I was GLORRIANE Francis. You heard your story. A story can help change your life. Probably you were thinking of giving up, but she's saying focus on the positive. The negatives are there to help you realize what you're supposed to be doing.